You know what? Um, let's see what time it is right now. Oh, it's just 11:01. Okay, it's 11 o'clock. Yeah. It seems like to me, and I want to try to say as much as I could into this video. The title of it is. It seems like when you do right. No, it seems like when you do right, you get punished for it. It seems like when you do right, you get punished for it. It's a very important reason why I said that. When you do right, you get punished for it. When you putting out good content or whatever, that ain't what I want to talk about the content. I want to talk about the situation with, like, for specific one, when it talks about what you call this. I'm in a situation to where, like I said, y'all know the last weeks, several weeks. It seems like it's almost 2 months now. My mother had a stroke, right? That stroke caused her is to be bedridden and be paralyzed to where she can't even do anything for herself. And I can't even explain to you that's really been hard. Like, you got to really be strong. You got to really, really, really be a strong minded person. Is to sit there and watch a person who you saw at one time was in good health. Now all of a sudden everything started to go down and go and crumble, and just you start to see things crumble and diverse and just crumble. Where you saw that person at one time, they was in good health. You knew they was in good health. You watched them growing up, that raised you, your mother or your father or something like that. Well, if it's your father or your mother, you watch those people that raised you. Now, the only difference is I didn't have my father in my life. That's the only difference. I didn't have my. It's rare. It's a very few of us that had that. A very few people that can say they had their father in their life. But for most of us, we didn't have that growing up in that, and not in the African American community. No, but sometimes I feel like, because the caregivers is mostly they have these people. Now these things called the healthcare facility. I don't call it no healthcare facility. I call it a so-called healthcare facility, because just because it's wearing the name, partner, doesn't mean that it's actually like that behind the scene. When you look behind the curtain and you pull that goddamn veil, you're gonna see something totally different. The sign is up there, healthcare facility. But when you open that curtain up and look behind there, it's like you seeing a bunch of goddamn snakes. It's like, sometimes I think that people are jealous of you, women in particular, is jealous of you, and they get this shit from Esau, the so-called white man. Because the so-called white folk, they don't want to see our people actually come together. They don't want to see that. But it seemed like, especially as a man, if you care for your mother and trying to, or your father or whatever, your mother, women, it just seems like they envious that, because they be jealous and envious of each other anyway. You see what I'm saying? But they was conditioned that way. Just like I was looking at a video where they said Now I call Thanksgiving. It sounds like I'm mixing the video up. Don't think I'm trying to jump off the topic or nothing like that. I'm not trying to do that. But Thanksgiving, I call it. I love to say Thanksgiving. Why do we celebrate white folks' culture? We take so much pride in identifying with everybody else's culture, celebrating and honoring. What about our own culture? What about black culture? But we'll sit around here and we'll praise and worship this white man's religion, his customs. And they kill your ass, they kill our asses, our people every day, shooting them down in the streets. But you'd rather take and go honor. Why don't you keep the commandments of God? There are several commandments in the law of God, and it's over 10. It is more than 10. It's 613. You see what I'm saying? The fridges in Numbers chapter 15, verses 37 through 38. Why not wear the fridges? The fridges is like the cut, the stripes that be at the tip of your shirt. Yeah. But it seems like you get punished the more you do right. Like when a so-called, now I'm not saying all of them, all the women are like that, especially when they see a brother, a man taking care of his mother. It can be the father, but I'm just gonna say mother in particular, because they jealous and envious of each other, because they got they jealousy and hatred from the slave master. They envious a young man who takes care of their mother. They do. It seems like they do. They'll come in the room and you could be just sitting in there with them, because just in case they need something or whatever, then they'll come up in there and be like, now normally they've been talking nice to you all the other time. And then they'll come up in there. You're going to have to step out. Can you step out for a minute? They'll say, can you step out for a minute? I'm about to change. No, they're coming in. You got to step out for a minute because I need to change. Now, that was kind of rude. You could have said, how you doing today? How you doing today? And just give me a minute to clean up and you can come right back in. But no, you busts in trying to, like, okay, it's like this here. You bust in and you got to step out, but you try to be mature about it as you grow. You try to be mature about it. But at the same time, I ain't gonna lie, shit pissing me off though. Yeah. So I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute, something ain't right about this shit. Because you tell them the condition and you let them know. It's like you get, people envy that, is what I'm trying to say. They really envious of a young man taking care of his mother, because they envy that woman, because they can't stand each other anyway, because they got that hatred from the slave master. They got all the hatred from the evil, hatred, demonic slave master. Yeah. And I'm like, to me, that's some weird shit. It's weird. That's crazy. Like, how can you hate and disrespect a man for actually trying to be there for his mother or father? You know what I'm saying? But in this particular case, you have women that cannot stand each other. So they, in essence, hate on the young man and hate on the mother because they got somebody there at the aid or whatever. Because when you get down and out and you can't do nothing for yourself or whatever, people, it's like in this day and age, people look at you, well, that's your problem. I got shit to do. This is how this is in their mind. They don't give a damn. Well, I'm sorry, then you can't see. I'm sorry you bedridden. Well, I can't get no water. I can't move. Well, that's your problem. I'm sorry, I got my shit. That's literally how they looking at it. I got shit to do. So it's like this here. Your health is your wealth. And look, cut all the people off. If they calling you, hitting you some negative ass information and negative shit, you better cut them. You better cut them motherfuckers off right a fucking way. I'm telling you, because if you allow them, if you let them in and let them fuck your health up, guess what they ain't gonna do? They ain't gonna say, well, you know what? I caused this shit. I'm gonna be there for you every step of the way. Shit, you better think and come again. Because once they fuck your health up, which they don't give a damn, they you might get a hello a drive. They might pop up every blue moon to see, oh, how you doing today? Okay, they'll stay a few minutes. Well, I got to go. I got shit to do. That's what they saying in their mind. Cause once you got your help no more, loving these motherfuckers who ain't gonna never, and you lose your any of your help, they show ain't gonna they show ain't gonna take their energy and put it into making sure you good. So if you have any negative people in your life, you better cut their ass off, because if you don't, the life you save can be your own, because there is nobody is gonna do you like God, the Black Messiah. Nobody. And they show don't give a damn about you in them so-called health care. And I say, and I don't, you know what? They don't give a damn about you in them health care facilities. Let's just get that straight now. If you thinking that your family members, or you thinking about putting them in a so-called health care facility, you're gonna regret that shit, because they mistreat those people. You know what? Another thing. Fuck all this shit. Nursing and going to school. Man, forget all this shit. It actually put a dampen on me, to the point to where when you get through looking at how they treat those people in them hospitals, so especially so-called white men, they treat our people in them hospitals and stuff like that. Uh, you wouldn't even want a job even being a fucking janitor in that motherfucker. You don't even want a job as a goddamn janitor working. I know it make you feel like it it just put a mark on me. Like every time I don't even want to even work in those facilities like that, because it makes me feel like I'm a part of that shit. The hospital, so-called hospitals and so-called healthcare facilities ain't nothing but murderers, murdering and killing, because that's what it's all about. It's all about in them so-called healthcare facilities and them rehab places where you put them senior citizens at. Man, they mistreat the shit out them senior citizens up in there. Get bed ready now. Get bed ready. You all right today? That's good. We're gonna give you your cough medicine, or we're gonna give you your pain medicine within about 3 more hours. Now you got to wait on daytime. You got to wait on daytime. It's better to have me. I want my family members at home. You know, it's better to. It ain't no place like home, and you don't get the same food. You got to sit there and wait on somebody is to come there and give you food. You got to depend upon them for that. So do everything you can is to take care of your health. Do it. Oh, is to take care of your health. Because once you lose that shit, it ain't nobody gonna do you like God. They not. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, and I'm gonna talk some more about that in the morning. The video is entitled, "It Seems Like When You Do Right, You Get Punished for It." It seems like when you do right, you get punished for it. And that's true. You definitely get punished, but it seems that way. Somebody supported me in the comment section. True story. I put it up there earlier, though. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I'm going to get up out of here and I'm going to see y'all later. And I think that was a pretty good, okay video. All right, I'm out.